Hey everyone, my name is Piyush Kaushik and I'm the creator of this tool SpriteFix, for which I'll be showcasing a couple of demos for. Now, the inspiration behind this tool came while developing a game called Thumb Smash, for which version 2, which is a rewrite from scratch, is currently in development. So I'll post the updates about that also somewhere in the future. But for today, we have a couple of demos for SpriteFix. So let's see what the tool is and what it does. So SpriteFix is basically a tool that I created to enable game devs cut down their time in fixing or normalizing the messy sprite feeds. Now, this is a tool which is specifically for game devs who work with the sprite sheets. So let's see how it works. If you could see my screen, I'll just quickly sign in, select my account, and you would see that I'm taken on to the dashboard page. I'm currently pro user, so all the features are available for pro users. So I'll quickly go to workspace, and now you could launch workspace from this button itself, or it's a handy button in the header itself. So I'll go to workspace. Now, for the first feature, we are going to see that how we could use multiple frames and create a spreadsheet out of that. And also normalize that spreadsheet because the individual frames could be of different sizes. So if I click to upload and go back for demo one folder, if you could see, we have these individual frames which are of different sizes again. So we'll take the attack animation, individual frames for attack animation, which are 6 frames. So I'll open, and all those 6 frames will be picked up by the tool. There you could see it gives you a preview of the individual frames also. So if you want to see how individual frame look like, you could see that here. Now, the tool has smartly detected 6 frames, which we uploaded. So it says we will merge them into a single spreadsheet, right? So for merging them into a single spreadsheet, this particular checkbox has to be checked. It says, and every field which is there on this page will have info icon, which tells you what to do or what not to do, basically. So what we want to do is to create a single row spreadsheet containing 8 frames. So you could choose from 2 through 16 frames. So I'll be choosing the default value of 8 frames, and I want to choose the default frame size of 128 by 128 pixels. Again, you have options here to choose the frame size, right from 16 by 16 up until 256 by 256. So I'll be choosing 128 by 128, and then I'll be clicking on the process fix sprite button. So it takes a couple of seconds to process the sprite, and you would see that it has created the sprite sheet out of those individual 6 frames. And at the bottom, you would also see the live animation preview. You also have a tool to change the FPS. So currently it is set to 12. You could manually increase that, and the animation will be performing with those frames per second. You could choose to turn the loop on or off, or pause and start again. If you come down, there will be a gigantic button. This is on purpose to let game devs know that they would have to download the clean sprite. So let's click the download clean sprite button, and says download completed successfully. And we have a new sprite sheet created. So let me click on it, and you would see that sprite sheet has been created. If, however, you want to adjust settings or not happy with the frame size, you could click this adjust settings and reprocess button. Will take you back to that particular page where you could change any of the settings and redo the processing of the spreadsheets again. So this was the demo one. Let's go back to the workspace, uh, launch the workspace again. And now for demo 2, what we want to do is go into the demo 2 folder. Now, for certain animations or for certain characters, there would be different type of animations like a fighting sequence or a running sequence or a jumping sequence or any sort of such sequences, right? So I have one such character here, which is the red werewolf. It has three different sequences. One is for attacking, one is for dead, playing dead, and one is when it's hurt, right? Now, I'm not sure if you could see it, but let me open this or take a quick look. So the attack animation consists of 6 frames. The dead sprite sheet is consisting of only 2 frames. And then again, for hurt, we have only 2 frames. So it's not a common set of frames or sizes for the game engine to process. And it's a additional task or additional work that the developer has to do, right? So what we want to do is we'll take one attack, one animation or sprite sheet, take that. What we want to do is create a single row of 8 frames. So that is fine. We'll click process fix sprite, and you could see that the 8 frames is generated out of the 6 frames, and there is the animation preview, right? So you have now created the spreadsheet out of 8 frames. So we'll download it, obviously, check it. It is fine, and you'll go back to uploading a new sprite. So let's go back. Let's see Hurt again this time. Auto detect islands is on. We want to keep the same standard again for this. So single row 8 frames, 128 by 128. Click on process fixed by. So now you have the animation of eight consisting of 8 frames for the heart animation, right? So you download this as well. You could also do the batch processing, so the options are there. But that is for another day. Today focuses on this part of the demo. So you download the. Now coming on to the third demo, there might be certain scenarios where you might not be happy with the fixed spreadsheet. So let me explain what I'm trying to convey here. So I have a spreadsheet. Let's take a quick look. Wherein this red werewolf is almost like running, right? And you could see in some frames the werewolf is contracted, the posture of the body is contracted, and in some frames it is extended, right? So if we try to take this particular sprite sheet and try to open this, let me close this one, right? And if we try to process this particular sprite sheet, what it will do is it will again create a sprite sheet, but it will mess up around certain frames, right? So we do not want this. For this, what we have in scenarios like this, what we could do is, although this will not be very frequent, very rare scenarios, occurring scenarios. So for this only, we have introduced a new feature in our SpriteFix tool, which is to crop out this certain frames. So if I say I had this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 frames out of the jumping, running werewolf, which were not creating the as expected output. So what we are going to do is remove a couple of frames. Let's remove the last three and just keep the first four, and then apply crop and reprocess. So if I now you see standard, so sorry for the wrong. So now you could see there are now 8 frames, very standard 8 frames, and the werewolf is doing the animation. So now you could download the news, and that is a very latest feature that we have built into the SpriteFix. If you want to know more features of SpriteFix, you could obviously go into the features page. And let me also invite you to try this out because this is free to try, albeit with some limited features, but it is nevertheless.
Best day ever will be.
Next, please stop. Yeah. So,
Should also help me with that.
Alexa, please pause. So sorry.
Should also help me with that.
Right. So that's it basically, and the tool is free to try. It has all the features listed. You could take a look, try it out. It has exports for different type of engines. It has auto island detection, which we have already seen. You could have custom frame counts, refragment briefing, and all those sort of things. Comes in three categories. Free trial, of course, with some limitations. Basic plan is enhanced and no watermark exports. Pro plan is mean everything you will get in the full plan. So that's it for today. Thanks everyone, and have a great day.